Utah Business is pleased to present the 2024 CEO of the Year Awards. This event honors CEOs who have led their organizations with strength, courage, and endurance, and have made it their mission to change the way we do business here in Utah. Today's program is sponsored by Bill, Webb, Bentley of Salt Lake, and Colliers International. Please welcome to the stage Burke Olson, publisher of Utah Business Magazine.
Thanks. Now, here we go. We're on. Thank you so much. Thanks to our great sound team. Good afternoon and welcome to the Utah Business 2024 CEO of the Year Awards. We're going to get to clap a lot today, and that's great. It's just how we love it. Today, we recognize the CEOs who have led their organizations with strength, courage, and endurance through the ups and downs of a very dynamic economic landscape. During the past year, some of these CEOs and their teams have faced periods of massive growth, and some have weathered serious setbacks. But all have worked to keep a steady hand with an eye to the future. Now, everyone in this room knows that we live in a unique state, and we love it. And we keep receiving national designations and accolades. Last year, we were named the #1 state in the U.S., the very best out of all the 50 Nifty. We were also, there's more. We were also named the best state in which to start a business, the best state economy, the #1 state for franchising opportunities, and the top state for labor force participation. If that weren't enough, we also were named in separate honors the most charitable, most independent, and happiest state in the nation. Yeah. Now, the CEOs that we get to honor today and the organizations that they represent are key contributors to all of these recognitions. You come from a variety of industries, and you each have different backgrounds. And your work combines in direct ways to the success of our state and the opportunities that we're seeking to build for all Utahns. We're grateful for your leadership, your vision, and your enthusiasm. And of course, we look forward to hearing from you and learning more about the specific contributions that you're making. Congratulations for being nominated and selected, and now we're very pleased to honor you today. Now, give a warm welcome to our MC for today's program, my colleague, Utah Business Editor-in-Chief, Melanie Jones.
Thank you, Burke. We're grateful you're here today to celebrate these stars from the business community with us. First, let me share a little bit about Utah Business. Utah Business fosters connection, insight, and recognition for Utah's professional, thriving community. Through our events, magazine, and website, we highlight the ideas, innovations, and people behind Utah business success stories. We're all in on Utah, and we love telling stories like the ones you'll hear today. Last fall, at a Utah Business event celebrating innovation, one of the honorees, the executive director of the Lassonde Entrepreneur Institute, said, "Utah Business has stepped in and filled a void. Without them, we wouldn't have any business coverage." The business coverage we provide for you is possible only through the support of our advertisers, subscribers, and sponsors. A community effort funds our ability to recognize the great work in Utah's business community, a state that U.S. News and World Report ranked #1 for its economy, and that WalletHub ranked the #1 state to start a business. Well, this business community certainly deserves coverage. And on that note, I'd like to thank our table sponsors for being here today. And speaking of tables, you have all received a black envelope on your chair. Inside is an invitation to check out Edison House, a private club in Salt Lake City. Stop by for a tour, have a lunch meeting, and enjoy the space. Your entry fee will be waived as an attendee to today's event. I'd also like to thank our event sponsors, Webb, Colliers, and Bentley of Salt Lake. And lastly, I'd like to give a huge thanks to our presenting sponsor, Bill. We could not have done this without you. Please give a round of applause to our sponsors. We'd like to invite Bill's Senior Sales Manager, Brant Hines, to share a few thoughts with us.
Can't see anybody, so that's great. I work at Bill. It's not your creepy Uncle Bill. Some of you may know us by the name of Divvy as well. We're a free-to-use expense management solution, and we love CEOs. CEOs are great simply because that is like, they run businesses, right? And businesses are what make us thrive, and that's why we're all here. Our founding CEO, Blake Murray, he was one that we loved because he was like a man of the people. He cared about each individual employee and truly did all he could to make the business successful. So I'm grateful for the CEOs out there that wear multiple hats. Your job is difficult. There are long hours. There's so much you go through, but you do it truly to create jobs for other people and provide a better future for yourself and those around you. So we're grateful to all of you for all that you do and the example you set as CEOs.
Thank you. There you are. Thank you, Brant.
Sorry.
You're great. Over the past year, we have talked with dozens of business leaders throughout the state, and one thing we've noticed is that great CEOs are quick to give credit for any of their success to their teams. And of course, teams are crucial for turning visions into reality. I've even heard it said that if you can accomplish your dreams alone, your dreams are not big enough. But without visionary leadership, what are those teams reaching for? The Chief Executive Officer has ultimate responsibility for the success and failure of the organization he or she leads. And that can be a lonely burden to bear, no matter how great, capable, and committed your team is. When it comes down to it, the toughest, most painful decisions rest with the CEO, who understands that employees and their families depend on the growth and success of the company. And that's why we're so pleased to be able to shine a spotlight on our CEO of the Year honorees today, whether they want us to or not. You all know what I'm saying. We celebrate you not simply for your prestigious titles, but because your teams and your organizations are successful. You deserve recognition for your leadership of those teams and for the vision, absolute dedication, and hard work that have led to your team's successes. Please join me in a round of applause in celebration of these outstanding Chief Executive Officers. We received nominations from across the state for these awards, and selecting honorees was no easy task. Luckily, we had a panel of judges to help us read and score every single nomination we received. Winners of the CEO of the Year title from previous years: Julie Castle, CEO of Best Friends Animal Society; Monty Deer, CEO of Kizik and Hands Free Labs; Dirk Jeffs, CEO of Ultradent; Nate Randall, CEO of Gab; Sydney Shorter, CEO of the Utah Black Chamber; and Shauna Smith, CEO of Savory Restaurant Fund. Let's show them some gratitude for their long nights reading all these nominations. At Utah Business, we had the pleasure of interviewing each of this year's honorees to learn about their accomplishments, obstacles, and leadership philosophy. Please turn your attention to the video screens to hear from our first honoree.
Part of the thing that we are consistently reminded of is the impact that we have in the way in which patients get cared for. A majority of the work that we do will list, match, and fill on the platform in under 24 hours before the shift start time. And in that, we, in a very real way, if we don't put a nurse at the bedside of that patient in need, nobody does. At the heart of what we do, that is what matters. And being able to do good work is awesome. Being able to do good work that creates impact is even more rare, and we have that gift. Bringing a startup into being is a literal act of making something that has never existed before. Every day is a challenge. We started the company at the front end of the pandemic, and between volume challenges and financial challenges, we had our first 2 years. From 2020, when we started, to the end of 2022, we grew on average more than 72% month over month. It was an incredible run. I think messaging to my leadership team is pretty simple. We're going to win, and I'm grateful that you're here.
Our first honoree responded to the nursing shortage by founding a digital marketplace for nurse staffing. His company has grown from 20,000 to 2 million annual patient hours in under 3 years. Please welcome to the stage the CEO and founder of NERSA, Curtis Anderson.
Man, you can't see. There's a simple Taoist story about an old farmer who has a neighbor who approaches him after a bad horse accident and says, "What bad luck?" The Taoist farmer says, "Maybe." The next day, his son finds a wild horse out in a different area, brings it home, and the neighbor comes by and says, "What good luck?" And the farmer says, "Maybe." The next day, while taming the wild horse, the son breaks his arm, and the farmer, again talking to the neighbor says, "What bad luck?" And the farmer says, "Maybe." And then the next day, a member of the armed forces comes to conscript the son, but he can't make the assignment because he has a broken arm. The neighbor says, what good luck? The farmer says, "Maybe." And that's where the story ends. Such is the life of a CEO. There is so much joy to be had in the creation of a company, and so much wonder and amazement to be had from watching a team accomplish a mission and a goal. Utah has sat for long at the epicenter and intersection of the act of creation and connecting a nation. We are grateful for the shoulders on which we stand, starting first with a golden spike that connected the railroad across the nation. As the generations have proceeded, Utah has been at that intersection, connecting the nation in a variety of ways, and I would be remiss if I did not express my gratitude for the shoulders on which we stand generationally. The opportunity that we have to build on the bedrock granite of Lake Bonneville is an absolute miracle and gift. We're most grateful to be honored today, and I'm thankful to be counted among you. Thank you.
Probably one of my favorite achievements was actually during COVID. We merged with a company. It was in 2020, February of 2020, and 2 weeks later, everything shut down because of COVID. And like so many companies, we had to do some quick restructuring. And in the aftermath of that, all of our employees stayed as well. We had a very high retention rate, and people came out of that stronger and better. And to see people rally around the cause of what we were working on, the mission of what we're doing, it's just a wonderful feeling. We're trying to help individuals change their lives for the better in so many different ways, and the outcomes of that are just overwhelming. And being able to have individuals that are tied to that and focused on that as well is really pretty special. If you're not doing what makes you happy and you're finding fulfillment and true joy in what you're doing, you're in the wrong profession. Too many of us aren't doing that. And it's not about finding your interest, it's finding that true thing that brings out the best in you. That's what drives me, and that's what I think is most important for our company.
Our next honoree was the mastermind behind his company's most ambitious product release to date, an aptitude-based platform that leverages AI to help educators create meaningful career pathways for students. The company's solutions are found in more than 17,000 schools with 4.5 million users. Please welcome to the stage CEO of UScience, Edson Barton.
When I was in kindergarten, I loved school. It might have had something to do with the fact that my teacher had this big black Trans Am with a Firebird painted on the front of it. It was awesome. But then one day when I was 8, one of my classmates, a little girl, said to me casually, "You're not good at math." And guess what? I believed her. It's true, probably. I wasn't getting good grades at the time. I was falling behind. It was hard for me to keep up. And so I did believe that little girl through elementary school, middle school, and high school. What that little girl didn't know was that my sister had fought and lost the battle with leukemia that year. And my parents had, rightfully, spent every ounce of energy trying to save her life. But in the process, I fell behind. And I believed that I must be dumb and that school wasn't for me anymore. Then one day, while I was working full-time, managing a restaurant at the age of 17, it hit me. Wait a second. I'm managing profit and loss for the company. I'm ordering food and supplies. I'm managing time allocations for employees. How could I be dumb if I can do all this? And at that moment, as I stood over a hot grill sizzling with oil, the world changed for me. And I wanted to understand why it changed. That pivotal moment forged the foundation for what is now UScience. We are dedicated to helping every single person in the world know and prove, regardless of their upbringing, their race, their gender, their background, or regardless of whether or not they thought they were an academic student or not, that they have genius, that they have worth, that they have need in the world, and the world needs them desperately. I am so grateful for our dedicated team that makes that goal possible. Whatever I am today, it is because of their greatness and their dedication. Thank you, team, and thank you, everyone.
Arriving at the museum about 3 years ago, the museum was in a very serious state, largely due to COVID, but working closely with the board and my amazing staff, we have been able to transform the museum into a place that's alive and happening. We have a lot of new exhibits and new art murals, and we have a lot of new funding from this amazing community in which we live. I really try to have fun at work. I bring my passion. I love museums. I love what it does for people, the informal learning, the time with your family and friends, and just the discovery of it. There's things that are exposure that you wouldn't have any other way. And for me, bringing some fun, injecting fun into that every day really makes it the kind of place that you want to come back to. So we have had quite a few challenges, to be totally honest. But something that is unique to museums, and especially children's museums, is that a lot of children's museums do not collect artifacts and artwork. And a big change that we've made at the Children's Museum here in Utah is that we do have a beautiful collection of fossils now, and we incorporate art murals into our actual process of doing business. We have new art murals going up all the time. So I think bringing that elevation, it's amazing what young children can learn by being exposed to art and artifacts, and we just love that we've been able to add that to the museum.
Our next honoree orchestrated a remarkable turnaround, leading her organization to an 800% surge in program funding and an over 1,200% increase of cash on hand through diversified revenue streams, partnerships, and grants. Please give a warm welcome to the CEO of Discovery Gateway Children's Museum, Kathleen Bodenlos.
Well, I am so honored to be considered for this award, and it's kind of a funny story. So when I moved out here, I moved from another museum in Ohio in the midst of COVID, and I came out in my Toyota Camry with my backseat filled with plants because I'm a plant lady. And I took care of them the whole way out here. And during those hours and hours of driving from Ohio to Utah, I made a 10-year plan in my mind. And I am so thrilled to tell you that we are about halfway through my 10-year plan in only 3 years. And it's because of this amazing team that I have through both my board and my staff, who I just love them. And I also love this community. You know, when I came to the Children's Museum, it was in bad shape because of COVID. And the community, the business owners, our board, everyone got behind us. And I am so grateful for the new synergy at the museum, and we just want to make it a sustainable, great place for another 50 years. So thank you so much.
The achievement that I'm most proud of is that our team has been able to build a company that is completely opposite how our industry works. We took what's a standard temporary model and made a full-time model and completely shifted the way that the industry does business. In fact, we had to create our own separate category because we were so different from everybody else out there. And that makes me most proud that our team was able to accomplish that. By switching our model from a temporary model to a full-time model, we're able to attract and retain higher caliber talent, which means we're able to provide that higher caliber talent to our clients, delivering a better asset for them to utilize on their projects. When we were 10 employees, our culture is a lot different than today when we're over 400 employees. And that's because we consistently, regularly work on our culture. So a professional challenge that I've been faced with at X3 is that I had formerly 2 other partners and have since purchased them out of the business. And that's a challenge to keep a culture going, to keep motivation going, and to make sure you bring leadership people into the team to fill those voids and gaps from your prior partners.
Our next honoree has approached construction tradespeople as employees, not temps, offering them benefits like PTO, health, and tuition reimbursement through his staffing agency. Please congratulate and welcome to the stage the CEO and president of X3, Darren Bolingbrook.
Hello. Well, I prepared a little speech. I'd like to start out by thanking the Academy. Oh gosh, wrong speech. Great. I guess I'm winging it. Us CEOs, we never wing it, right? Well, I want to first thank my leadership team for nominating me. It was a complete surprise. I think I deleted the first 3 emails from Utah Business. And when I saw one that said, final reminder, schedule your photo shoot, I forwarded it to our marketing team and said, do you know anything about this? And they replied, surprise. So it was a surprise. I'm absolutely honored to be in this room today with all these amazing honorees and these amazing companies. Congratulations to each of you. I spent 17 years in the staffing industry, and I absolutely loved it, but I knew there was something wrong, and I knew there was a better way to do it. And I'm glad I had enough sales skills to convince 6 people to leave good-paying jobs to chase a vision and a mission to start something different, something new. And we did that. And we turned those 6 into now over 400 employees, and to where we've had to create our own category in our industry because we're so different. I have to thank my mom, who's here. Hi, Mom. She taught me work ethic. She taught me to think creatively. She taught me to never give up until it made sense to give up. And she told me to absolutely make it your mission when somebody tells you you can't do something. And I was told we couldn't do this. I want to thank our leadership team. They have taken the company into a gear that I didn't even know existed. But this would not be possible without exceptional teammates. And I have exceptional teammates, and I dedicate this to each and every one of them. Thank you.
I believe in getting a lot of people's ideas and collaborating, come up with the right solutions for the right situations. We really are big on lifting our employees and lifting our clients at the same time. And I believe we can do both of those things, and we've seen success with it, and then we're running with that. There aren't a lot of decisions that are made in a vacuum. We like to get a lot of opinions and a lot of different viewpoints to make sure that we do make the right decision. So collaboration is probably our key ingredient to our culture. Our leadership strategy has changed quite a bit over the last few years. I'm really happy to say about 50% of our employees are female, which prior to me coming on board wasn't really the case, but our leadership team comprised of very diverse background and group, and everyone has a voice, and I love that. That makes us stronger to get a lot of different opinions, so I'm excited with the diversity we have on our management team. I've heard the adage that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. For that reason, you need to listen more than you talk, and I think that's the key to a successful CEO is listening to your people, listening to people that have some experience in the organization and what they've gone through and what their trials and obstacles may have been, and you'll become much more effective that way.
Our next honoree propelled his company's growth, expanding its footprint to 45 cities, increasing staff from 270 employees to over 500, and landing the company on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing private companies. Please give a warm welcome to Randy Christensen, CEO and President of Now CFO.
Well, this is extremely humbling to be recognized with so many very impressive CEOs, and we all have a different story, and mine's a little different than everybody else's. And my story is our founder and chairman built, let's go with the sponsor, built a Bentley and handed the keys to me. And I just been putting gas in that thing. And surrounded ourselves with some really great people. We have tremendous leaders across the country that have helped keep the fuel in that Bentley, and we're rolling along, and we're really happy. Our philosophy is really to lift our people, our employees, give them the ability to make some mistakes. That's how we learn. Give them the ability to make decisions, and they're going to stub their toe, and that's okay. That's how we get to success, is by stubbing our toes. We like to lift our clients. You know, we serve over 1,000 clients a week and tens of thousands in a year, and our goal, and I guess our measurement of success, is at the end of that engagement, can we shake their hand and give them an awkward hug and feel good about what we did and help them. And if they're in a better spot than when we met them, then we've succeeded. The revenue is nice, but I think if we succeed with our clients, we'll succeed on the revenue side as well. So I'm extremely humbled. Jim Bennett should be standing up here, our chairman and founder. He built, again, a great Bentley. The management team, most of them are here today. I couldn't do this without them and all the leaders across the country, but I'm extremely humbled and grateful to be here today. My mom and dad are here. It shocked me. I saw a lady in the hallway, and I thought, yeah, it looks like my mom. And anyway, thanks for driving up from Provo, Mom and Dad. But thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Fourth Street Clinic is a homeless healthcare organization. We provide integrated healthcare services to individuals who are experiencing homelessness in our community. That includes pharmacy, dental, medical, specialty services, substance use disorder services, and mental health services. My job, my role as I see it, is really to help support all of the people in our organization who are so passionate about serving our patients and in turn serving their community. So I like to think about it from the standpoint of I really am just there to help them live out their passion and their mission in life and do my best to stay out of their way and provide support that they need to do the work that they love. And they come to work so joyful to do that work. And so it's really an honor to support them in being able to do that. So we want to have that culture where people feel welcome, they feel trusted, they feel valued and seen and heard. That really is what I wake up every day trying to think about how to do. In that work, I think it's so important to have compassion and love and transparency and honesty with everybody that you're interacting with. And so those are kind of the things that I use to check myself at the end of the day and make sure, we're still on track.
Our next honoree collaborated with Shelter the Homeless, The Road Home, and Sandy City to create a safe place for medically fragile seniors to recuperate while receiving on-site medical care. She also worked to increase her clinic's Medicaid reimbursements by 79% per patient visit starting in January, so more unsheltered Utahns can receive integrated health care. Please welcome to the stage Johnny-Da Emerson, CEO of 4th Street Clinic.
Good. You really can't see anybody. When I tell people that I am CEO of 4th Street Clinic, I oftentimes get a multitude of responses that typically range from, oh, wow, and that sounds so hard. And it is also the most amazing privilege that I've ever had. So we work with the most passionate and incredibly talented group of individuals, and I oftentimes tell people my job is to make sure they have what they need to serve the patients that so greatly need our services, and to do my best to stay out of their way. I want to thank my family and friends that are here today to support me. I really could not do this without any of them. And there are many people who couldn't be here today as well, including most of our staff, our board, and my other colleagues in homeless services. And really, this is something that I share with the work that we are all doing as a community in Salt Lake County. This is a testament of the collective power of collaboration and community support, and a reminder that change is possible when we have a shared vision as a community. So thank you very much.
I've always been a mission-driven and principle-based individual, and so core values have been everything to me. They've been the line in the sand, the non-negotiables, and my number one core value is recognizing God, even in the workplace. And so I try to acknowledge His hand, try to acknowledge the fact that I can turn to a higher power for guidance and for direction, especially when I'm helping other individuals, when I'm serving them, when I'm working with them interdependently, knowing that we can do so much more collectively with their talents, their abilities and gifts than I could do individually on my own. As long as we are aligned with our mission, which is to improve the lives of individuals and families, and we're living true to the core values that I feel will unfailingly bring us to that mission, I feel like we're succeeding every day. Ego can be the enemy, and so I would just say, open up, ask questions, find those that can be on your personal advisory board and committee, and turn to those that have walked your path before. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid of failures. Look to those as an opportunity to test and learn, apply in so many realms of life and business. And just open yourself up to being vulnerable and learning from those that have gone before you.
Our next honoree has driven innovation within the outdoor industry, integrating supplements into outdoor enthusiast routines and increasing retail locations from 3,000 to 4,500 during 2023. We would now like to welcome the CEO and co-founder of Mountain Ops, Trevor Farnes.
Well, I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity, and I too was surprised when I got that email. I was sitting on my couch at home and received this email that I was nominated for this award, and came to find out that it was one of our executives who had nominated me, and appreciate that he saw me in this light and was willing to put that nomination through. But I'm humbled to be here with the other honorees today. I've found that in my life, it is through connection that I've been able to succeed in any way, shape, or form. It's a connection with those team members. Some of them are here with me today, a connection with them. They are the secret sauce of Mountain Ops in making our mission come about, to transform the lives of individuals and families, to feed over 6 million children with food through our Operation Conquer Hunger. It comes by way of a connection to my incredible family, my team within the walls of my own home, my wife who's here, who has been resilient through the ups and downs that definitely have come our way, who has been my greatest support, and the one who I love most, my children who I love and adore and appreciate their connection. As it said in the video, ultimately my connection with God has meant everything to me. Our number one core value at Mountain Ops is recognizing God, and we recognize Him in the workplace. We try to acknowledge His hand in all things, and as I look at my life and the opportunities that have come my way, it's come through connection, but most importantly, the connection that I've been blessed with God, to help us through challenging times and the exciting times. So I'm thankful to be able to recognize Him today. Appreciate this opportunity with Utah Business, and congratulations to the other honorees. Thank you.
What would I say that the key principles that guide my leadership style are? I think first and foremost, just humanity. Everybody, has a place within the firm, contribution to make. Being in the seat that I am, it's sometimes humbling to see, what everybody might be dealing with, outside of work. I mean, the fact that they show up every day, bring their best and, really have an intrinsic desire to serve their teammates and the clients that we serve well is always inspiring to me. I've enjoyed kind of the discovery process along the way, both in our business and who we are and how we define and position ourselves, but also in me, individually. It's been very much a self-discovery process. So there's really nothing that I wish I knew beforehand, because I think part of the fun and part of the journey has just been kind of witnessing it unfold and that discovery.
Our next honoree led his company from a single office, family-owned tax preparation practice to a nationally recognized tax and consulting practice with a presence in 13 states. During 2023, the company had its best revenue year in its history, completing the acquisition of 10 additional offices, expanding into 2 new states, and taking a growth equity financing of up to $70 million. Congratulations and welcome to the stage, Reyes Flores, CEO and founder of Platform Accounting Group.
Excellent. So really great to be here. As I thought about what I would share, I think the biggest things that comes to mind is just how great of a state Utah is and what it's meant to my family, going back all the way to my great-grandfather and great-grandmother who migrated here from Mexico as farmers, built their life on the railroad, raised their children, quite literally in a single-room boxcar on the west side. And I recall my uncle telling me stories as a kid. He used to look up at the imprinted U on the mountain, and that education at the University of Utah was a way that he saw for more prosperity, a better life, advancement, et cetera. To my grandfather, who was the second Hispanic in the Utah legislature, and then to my own father, who built his small tax practice to serve his community, that really actually ties back to my grandfather, who would do taxes at the kitchen table for his coworkers at the cement plant, because he was one of the few that could speak English and understand the tax code. And that's really the foundation of which our firm is built. And we understand how important small boutique CPA firms are to their communities, to the people who work there and the clients they serve. And as we saw the challenges facing them, we decided to do something about that and to be able to preserve and protect and elevate and evolve them. And it's been an incredible journey, very challenging anytime you're building something. And I just have to say thank you to many of the folks who are very special and dear to me, who have helped me build that, are here today, particularly my wife, who has not just been a support, but has been a partner. And she's often been out running in front of me with her own career. She just retired from ABC after a 15-year journalist career. And my daughter, who has sacrificed incredible amounts of time and has showed incredible resiliency as I've been out traveling and gallivanting, and many late nights and lots of fingers of hold on one more minute while I'm on the phone. But just really grateful to be here. Congratulations to the other honorees, and just really feel gratitude for Utah and the place that we've been able to build our firm, and look forward to continue to be part of the ecosystem.
I think the key principles that guide my leadership style is a couple things. One is hard work. I don't think there's anything that can replace hard work. Even a great education, if you don't work hard, is only going to get you so far. But I think hard work. And the other key principle is just love for others and love of people. I think success for myself and success for the company are almost exactly the same. As long as I'm helping people, People are better because of me and because of my efforts. And if the South Valley Chamber members and businesses and the governments that we serve are better because of the Chamber, then we're successful. The balance and the profit and loss statements, they'll be there if you do those things. If I wasn't a president CEO right now, I think I'd be serving and finding ways to serve in the community and to give back and spending some time to also kind of check off some bucket list things and go fishing in Alaska or golfing at Pebble Beach. But the first thing would be looking for ways to give back in the community and to be able to serve others.
Our next honoree has increased his chamber's membership by 200, contracting 3 new cities and adding meaningful initiatives that help small businesses improve profitability and members access amazing opportunities on both local and national levels. Under his leadership, revenue has doubled and profitability has increased by 4.5 times. Please give a warm welcome to J.K. Francis, CEO and President of South Valley Chamber.
When you pay people, they'll do anything. Years ago at a 100 Club for the Utah Jazz event, I said, before we get started, let me just say a few things. And from the back of the room came, "Keep it short, Jay." And I said, "I will, John," in the immortal words of John Stockton. So I am grateful and I'm honored to be here, especially when I look at the list of honorees today and the list of honorees who have gone before us. I just want to thank a few people. First of all, I'd like to thank my family for their support. Throughout my career, they have been there. This is a fun job and I'm enjoying it. It's not quite as fun for them because I'm not taking players to their school classes, but we're making a difference. I'm grateful that my mother is here. And if we had time, I'd have you all sing happy birthday because yesterday was her 93rd birthday. So Mom, thank you for being here. She keeps saying she wants to go, so maybe after today, your favorite son has done something all those high school years you can wipe out. I'd like to thank our executive committee and our board of directors. It's so fun to be able to have somebody behind your back and that you don't feel is micromanaging you and they're helping you and assisting you. I'd also like to thank the staff from the South Valley Chamber. We've got an incredible staff. We're growing, but we have a mighty team. They're really the CEOs of the South Valley Chamber. I'd also like to thank many who are here today. I've got many families. My family, my chamber family, and those who I worked with for over 30 years. I'd also like to thank Utah Business for putting on this event and thank them for allowing us to be here. There are 3 leaders who have made a difference in my life. They're not here today, but they're with me every day. And I think about the role and the example that they gave me. I feel like the character Kenai in the Disney movie Brother Bear. Kenai was a young boy who was transformed into a bear and must literally walk through others' footsteps until he learned some of life's valuable lessons. At one point, he says, "I have some big footprints to fill." I feel much the same way. Throughout my career, I've had a chance to work with some amazing leaders and for some amazing leaders. And I hope in some way I have taken their example and being able to do some of the same in some very, very small way. Thank you, Utah Business. Thank you for everyone who's here. Appreciate this very much.
I
am most proud that we employ all women and that all of the women can work from home. Beyond that, we received 4 Stevie Awards this year for Women in Business, Entrepreneur of the Year, Female Entrepreneur of the Year, Company of the Year. So that was super fun. I had to step back from my business to focus on my health, and I had an incredible team that ran it for me for a few years until I could resume my role as CEO. So we create redundancy in roles by training multiple people on the same account. It's expensive, it's time consuming. We have data entry, we have bookkeepers, and we have accountants. And that way, if somebody goes out of town, if somebody quits, if someone has a baby, which happens often, it's no problem for the client. And it's good for the client because at any point in time, the client can reach out, and if someone's unable to answer the phone or to answer an email, there's other team members that can do that. Obviously, it's worth it to put forth that training cost because we have a killer staff, we have incredible clients, we're growing. So yeah, it's worth it.
After suffering a traumatic brain injury that threatened to end her career, our next honoree has grown a small home-based business to gross receipts of over $1 million in 2023. She has been featured in Forbes, NASDAQ.com, US News and World Report, and many more. Please give a warm welcome to Jenny Groberg, CEO and founder of Booksmarts Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Wow, how exciting. 3 years ago, I was in a neurology appointment. I was pretty down and out, and I asked the neurologist, at what point am I gonna get better? I just need a number. I'm an accountant. If you tell me year 5, I can hang in there for 2 more years. If you tell me year 10, I can do it, I just need to know. And he looked at me and said, Jen, wherever people are by year 3 after a traumatic brain injury, that's most likely where they'll be indefinitely. So you probably will not progress much more beyond this. I left that neurology appointment totally devastated, sobbing the whole way home. And then I had this prompting, this is not true. This is not for you. And I knew that there was more. And it took a few more years, but I learned some really important lessons that helped me personally, but also professionally in business. And that is, anything is possible. 2, nobody can define what I can or cannot be or what I can or cannot do. 3, in business or personally, things can get really, really bad, but things can also get better, and they can be amazing and beautiful. And lastly, surround myself with the smartest and best people I can, because there is most likely a solution to every problem. This is a huge honor, and I'm so grateful for my sweet husband, who every time I said, I am selling my business, I cannot go on, he'd say, Jen, you love your business. And I'd say, no, I can't do it any longer. He has been my cheerleader, my advocate, and my support, and my sweet 5 kids that are also my biggest cheerleaders. I'd like to recognize my parents who are also facing their toughest climb, which is terminal cancer, with my mom, and it's an honor to have them here with me today. And I would like to thank my Booksmarts team. I'd like to thank Emily Van Brocklin, my COO, who stepped in and led for me for 3 years so that I could take the time to heal and get better. And I'm so grateful for my all-female team and for the clients that they service all over the country, past and present. My employees, they work tirelessly, and I appreciate them. And there's something to be said about working hard, working together, and anything is possible. And I just want to reaffirm my commitment to my community and to my clients and to my staff that I will continue to do everything that I can to serve and pay it forward, because I have been so blessed. Thank you.
What I'm most proud of with our company is something that we've worked hard on, and that's vertical integration to transition into a real estate investor that controls the beginning to the end of an investment to drive the best return for the investment for our investors, for our employees, for our tenants, residents, and guests. We really truly focus on those three pillars of the investment, and if we can have success and have satisfaction in those three groups, we feel like we've had a successful investment. When you're a founder of a company, you're always in the details, wanting to know what's going on, and I think to let go and trust is probably one of the biggest challenges, not just me as a CEO founder, but I think I hear that a lot. And then, putting system processes in place as you grow even bigger. I mean, there's certain stages of growth that you need to make sure that you have those systems and processes in place.
In recent years, our next honoree has boldly transformed his company from a for-hire developer into a vertically integrated, full-service commercial real estate investment firm. Current priorities include a distressed asset strategy to identify and acquire properties like hotels that can't afford to refinance given today's high interest rates as their debt comes due, and establishing a construction subsidiary, allowing them to construct their own projects. Congratulations and welcome to this stage, the CEO and founder of PEG Companies, Cameron Gunter.
Well, first of all, I've had a couple of friends reach out to me on LinkedIn and say that, is that the small town farm kid from little farm town Idaho? I don't believe it, how something could happen from a rebellious kid like me. But first of all, thank you, Utah Business, for recognizing the CEOs and this recognizing me as well. I'm also want to say congratulations to all the other CEOs out there and for all that you've done and the difficulties that come from being a CEO, the dedication that you have to have, the hard work that has to take place to be a CEO. It makes it a little bit easier when you have employees and partners like I have at PEG that understand and are dedicated to the vision and the mission of the company. And as we set out to do something that I feel like hasn't been done a lot in the real estate investment industry, is to vertically integrate a company to be able to drive returns to the investor on the investment. And we really focus on three pillars, and the three pillars are our employees and satisfying those employees as well as the tenants and guests and residents that live in our communities and stay at our communities, as well as the investors that invest in our projects. That's what's critical, and our team has bought off on that vision and really has made it much easier to run an organization and grow like we have. A big thanks that most of you all know as CEOs that sometimes you're not always the father of the year or the husband of the year, and I want to give a lot of credit to my family for supporting me, my wife, just because it is sometimes difficult to be able to leave stuff at work and not come home, and they take the brunt of the anxiousness and the anguish that comes from really trying to run a company and be a CEO. So I do appreciate my family, and I appreciate them coming today and supporting me through this. And my wife, the one story I'd like to tell is during the global financial crisis, she was working full-time while I was trying to pay employees. So I didn't take a salary so I could allocate and not lay people off. And so she was huge in helping us survive through the global financial crisis. And after that, we really grew. So thank you, Jamie, for supporting and the rest of my family. And once again, thank you for Utah Business for this award. Thank you.
The culture of Select Health is really focused on the community. So we are what's known as a community health plan. Everything we do and everything we try to accomplish is really to make the community better. We like to offer products and services to all elements of the community, whether that's somebody who's Medicare eligible, it's age 65 or older, or somebody who's on Medicaid who are lower income. We call employees caregivers. And we take that to heart. We like to provide care, we like to make people's lives better, and we like to improve the health of the community in which we serve. Making that leap to becoming a CEO where you're over the enterprise is very difficult. Making sure that you have governance in place, making sure that the company is compliant to whatever regulations that you have, and most importantly, taking care of the employees or the caregivers, what we call them at Select Health. So honestly, I think you get in there and you're like, oh yeah, this is different, and you kind of have to figure it out. And so hopefully you have good mentors, and you have people that you can talk to, and people have gone on that path before you, and then you can reach out to them and get some good advice.
Our next honoree played a key role in a statewide effort to help Utahns who were no longer eligible for Medicaid due to post-pandemic federal changes. More than 33,000 were enrolled into individual healthcare plans. He also led a team that drove new innovative services like a partnership with Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Drug Company, Kroger Health, Wari Health, and Vita Health. Please welcome to the stage Rob Hitchcock, CEO and President of Select Health.
Thank you. I have to say, listening to that introduction, I'm pretty impressed with myself, but nowhere near as impressed as I was with Jay, who was wonderful. So thank you so much. I want to thank Utah Business for this great privilege, and most importantly, I want to thank my leadership team, many of whom are here today. You've heard that from almost every CEO, but I truly am grateful for them. I rely on them, and I draw comfort and inspiration, and they greatly support me. I'm so grateful to them. Almost 30 years ago, I was a student at the University of Utah, and I tried to get a job with Select Health. I interviewed for a customer service position, and for lots of reasons, I didn't get that job. But then I got married, went to graduate school, and spent 30 years of my career outside of Utah. But I always thought about Select Health, and my wife and I would always travel back to Utah, which our family is from, and I would always look at the Select Health building, and I always wondered, what's going on in there, and who's in there, and what kind of challenges are they facing, and what kind of decisions are they making? And it was always kind of interest to me. And during the pandemic, my wife and I were living in Chicago, and it's hard to explain, but Illinois was completely shut down. And we began to feel disconnected from our family and friends. As many people did, we are not alone. And so we decided that we wanted to move back to Salt Lake and be near family and friends. And so we did. I left my job and we came back here to Salt Lake, and we're thrilled with that decision, but I never imagined I would become the president and CEO of Select Health. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful for all the employees of Select Health, for all that they do. I'm so grateful for many of you who are customers of Select Health. We thank you so much. Thank you for putting your trust in us so that we can provide your healthcare coverage. And lastly, I want to say thank you to my family who is here. I think every CEO has said this, but one of the interesting facts about my family, I have 4 children. All of us were born in a different state. And our move back to Salt Lake was our 12th move in my career. And so my wife is an absolute saint. And I want to thank her. I have, again, 4 children. Each of my children, because of the moves and because of the focus on my career, where they started high school, they did not finish high school. Every one of them moved during high school. And so I want to thank them for their great sacrifice. You know, nobody can do this job alone. I am fully aware of that, and I'm so grateful for my family, for all the employees of Select Health, and especially for my leadership team, and so grateful for Utah Business and grateful for you. So thank you very much.
One of the most proud achievements that I've had as a professional is the fact that I have grown Beehive Mills as a founder CEO. We bootstrapped the company. So taking it from 0 to one of Utah's fastest growing companies and still owning 100% is something that I take a lot of pride in. It allows us to adapt quickly, and as the market has shifted in the food industry, it's allowed us to make 100% of the decisions and make sure we take care of our customers in the best possible way. Part of our culture at Beehive Mills, really, it's come from my mantra since day one, which is we'll figure it out. As we've grown so quickly, we've had to adapt and be very agile and nimble to be able to keep up with our growth. And we've adapted that we'll figure it out mantra into our daily culture and in our management, and that there's not a problem that we can't figure out as long as we work through it.
Our next honoree has led her company from 0 to 8 figures since 2018, and she has shared publicly that she wants to help her team members become millionaires. She gives thousands of free meals to needy families each year, partners to provide meals through Utah Foster Care, and committed over $250,000 to teachers last year through a partnership with First Lady Abby Cox's Show Up initiative. Please give a warm welcome to the CEO and founder of Beehive Meals, Elise Jackson.
So others have said that when they got their email, they weren't expecting anything. I was similar. I remember I was working at home in my office and opened up my email to see an email from Utah Business. And I was a little confused at first. And I actually called my husband, who is my co-founder, and we run the business together. And I said, I just won an award for CEO of the Year. He's like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, I did. I think this is real. We didn't know who nominated me initially. Later to find out it's another a friend of mine who's also a female founder CEO who nominated. So I'd love to know what she said about me. Starting Beehive Mills in late 2019, I did it out of a necessity to provide for my family. My husband was in the corporate world where the business he was working for wasn't in a great situation. It was very clear he was about to lose his job. And I did it. We had two kids at the time. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I basically took something that I was good at, and I said I could sell this to people. So starting the business, it was supposed to be a very temporary situation until we figured out something on my husband's side. Fast forward, pandemic hit in 2020, and we saw exponential growth. And we've been able to take that and continue to grow. I am very honored to be a part of this group of CEOs that are all being recognized today. I love to see all the different backgrounds, and they've come up through the corporate ladder, or there's founder CEOs, and just the different challenges that come from the different areas that we're all in. And I just want to say thank you to my husband. I mentioned we run the company together. A lot of people have talked about and thanked their spouses, and truly I have the opportunity that every single day we drive into work together, and we get to run our different perspective areas. We run completely different operations in our companies, which is great. That's how we can go home and we can still love each other at the end of the day. And we really make such a good team, so I wouldn't be here without his help in growing this company, as well as our other leadership. Something I'm proud of is we built a lot of our leadership up from within the company who started with us early on, and they've become key players as we've continued to grow. But I just want to say thank you to Utah Business, and all of you are here and all the other CEOs that are being honored today. So thank you.
Running a sales organization in the packaging industry is always interesting because it's always evolving. There's always somebody with a new great idea that needs a box for it, and that's what we do. I'm not a micromanager by any means. I like to let people go out and explore and bring me ideas, and I don't want to have any preconceived notions of what they might see out there, so that's one of my strengths, I think. How I define success is those that are around me. I enjoy all of my friends and family that are around me, and that's how I feel my success is, just having a lot of good friends that, we ski with, we bike with, we hike with. So I am not really a guy that wants to go out and start 4 or 5 other businesses. Utah Paper Box is my home, and I take care of it, and there is a little bit of a lifestyle that goes with it. Well, if you work at Utah Paper Box, people are always going to tell you it's family. We're very family oriented. We take care of each other's kids and see each other on the weekends, and we socialize together. We play golf together. We play basketball together. So our culture is a culture of family.
Our next honoree is the 4th generation leader of a manufacturing company that faced significant challenges in 2023. Customers who moved to offshored solutions, the passing of its previous CEO. It was a tough year. Our honoree staff nominated him for this award based on his incredible ability to adapt to challenges, keep morale high, and step into his father's CEO role while maintaining the company's average employee tenure of 13 years. Please give a big round of applause for Steve Kaiser, CEO and Chairman of the Board for Utah Paper Box.
Wow, you really can't see up here. So I was a sales guy before a CEO, so I'm all about time. My grandfather gave me this stopwatch. They told me 2 minutes, so I got to keep to that 2 minutes. So I am going to start the stopwatch. This is the Strava of the 1970s, for those of you that don't know what a stopwatch is. We would hit the thing and go for a run and hit it when we were done. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I'm here. 2 years ago, almost today, the woman that helped my dad and I build the business passed away of cancer. Her name was Terry Jensen, and maybe some of you probably knew her. My dad made her CFO in the 80s, well, VP of finance in the 80s, and she really helped us build the business, and so she was greatly missed. 9 months later, my father passed, and so that was also a big event, a big tax event, and a lot of that was staring me down. So flash forward to after we buried him, we surrounded the wagons, and we got the team together, and we said, all right, well, our sales are off, and we're in a rebuild year, so we started to make the rebuild. I would like to introduce the people that are sitting at my table. And I want you to stand up when I introduce you. Dave Tovey, who stepped in for Terry. Dave has done a wonderful job, and I have all the faith in the world, and I want to thank you personally for all your help with all of the estate stuff. Also, Mike Salazar. Mike, can you stand up, please? Mike is really well known in the industry, and if you go to an industry event and Mike Salazar speaks, everybody goes quiet. He knows a lot about manufacturing. I would also like to thank my daughter who nominated me, Gen 5, Maddie Kaiser. My mom's out there. Hi, Mom. And also Ben Missick, who's my golf coach, and is making me better at golf so that when I go out with customers and suppliers that I don't suck. So there it is. There's your 2 minutes. Thank you.
LitJoy Crate is a special edition, beautiful edition book company, but we're so much more than that. We also have an extensive community of readers. That's a big part of who we are. Really, we wanted to bring books to life, and in how we deliver books to our customers, that seems to be what we've accomplished. I would say culture is more important than anything at LitJoy, so more important than the product. So LitJoy's purpose is to cultivate joy and connection through stories, and everything we do runs through that filter. That includes how we treat our employees, how we treat our customers, and the products that we make. It was something that we talked about at our very first meeting, our very first get-together when we thought about starting a company. We sat down at a restaurant, we wrote out a few ideas, and then immediately we're like, what kind of culture do we want at this company? We have such an incredible team because of that. Yeah. And some people have left and come back because of our culture.
I'm also really proud, though, of the community we've built. I think we weathered some really intense storms through COVID. There was this real toxic wave that came through that was a lot of canceling and a lot of frustrations and people not knowing where to put their energy. I'm really proud of the fact that we held on to our values during that and that we were able to bring this community along with us. It's a tricky thing to navigate. And I was really proud of how our team just handled it with such integrity.
It feels like such a unicorn that we've been able to create. Everyone is so respectful of one another, and we lean into those values every day. And I'm just like, that I think is unique enough, and I'm proud of that. And everything we put out, we put our heart and passion into 100% because it doesn't just represent us, it usually represents another author, publisher, things like that as well. And they're all beautiful.
These co-CEOs have channeled their love of reading into a global enterprise, partnering with authors and publishers to produce annotated special editions where best-selling authors provide notes throughout their books in their own handwriting. Their American Fork-based company ranked number 24 for growth in Inc.'s Regionals 2024, and in November, USA Today ranked them the number 1 for best book subscription box. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the co-CEOs and co-founders of LitJoy Crate, Alex Lewis Burrows and Kelly Dirth.
We brought a speech, but it's a short speech.
It's short.
Perfect. Thank you first to Utah Business for this extraordinary honor, and congratulations to the other award winners today. We're very inspired by you and what you have done in the Utah community and globally. LitJoy was built upon our joint passion for literature. We had the courage and the audacity to launch a physical book company in the digital age because we believed that if we built it, readers like us would come. And they did. We will never cease to be grateful for our community of customers.
Our purpose at LitJoy is simple yet profound. We seek to foster connection and joy through stories. At LitJoy, we've embraced an unconventional approach to life and business. Rather than chasing the profits, we followed our intuition, allowing our passion for storytelling to guide us, and we prioritize authenticity and generosity.
From our humble beginnings, packing boxes until 4 a.m. in my kitchen, to our now full team of 40 employees and a warehouse facility, we most definitely endured all of the challenges that come with a startup. And we are now one of Utah's fastest growing companies. None of this would have been possible without a few very important things.
First, the loyalty and heart that is our team of employees. They are the lifeblood of our company, and as many of you have shared, a massive reason of why we're even here today. Second, our relentless commitment to our culture, as we discussed, that values creativity, extreme ownership, heart, communication, and generosity.
Third, the support of our loving parents. To all of you parents out there, support your daughters in their dreams. Encourage them to stand in their power and to use their voice. They are a voice that will change the world. And we would be remiss if we didn't also express our gratitude to the folks sitting at our table. That's our parents that are there that supported us in selling snow cones at the end of our driveway and in speaking up in our school activities. Also our husbands who were extremely supportive in our ventures in a startup. And also to our mentor who is at our table. We're so grateful.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
When I took over as CEO at Utah Foster Care, I thought a lot about what that would be. And for me, I came up with the acronym of CARE, which stands for Curiosity, Accountability, Relationships, and Enthusiasm. And that is how I hope to lead, and also what I hope to encourage in our team members as well. Culture at Utah Foster Care is something really special. We consider each other family, and we are there for each other to celebrate exciting things, and we're there to lift each other up and hold each other up through life's challenges as well. What we do at Utah Foster Care can be beautiful, and it can also be heavy at times. So to have the strength of our entire team during some of those heavy moments is it's really important. Something I'm proud of at Utah Foster Care is the staff that we have, the team that we have. We currently have over 500 years of experience in the foster care space in our organization, and it is dedicated, passionate people that care about kids, that care about families, and just show up every day to do this work.
Our next honoree has been instrumental in her company's digital transformation, improving coordination between staff and foster care parents. Her skill at creating partnerships with community members and organizations have resulted in increased donations, both cash and in kind, exceeding fundraising goals by over $438,000. Please welcome to the stage CEO of Utah Foster Care, Nikki McKay.
Thank you, everybody. A couple of things I just wanted to say. First of all, thank you to Utah Business for this honor, and also for allowing me to bring my daughter with me to the photo shoot and the video shoot, and really allow her from a young age to start to dream big. So that was really a fun piece of this experience for me. As I've thought about my career path and how I kind of ended up on this stage, a couple of things came to mind. And really, as a working mom, trying to find that balance of having a career that you love and are passionate about, and being the parent that you want to be, is a challenge that many of us face, and it's hard to navigate. And a few of the big pieces that helped me be able to do that is a workplace that allowed for flexibility. When my kids were young, to scale back my work hours and allow me to work at different hours of the day. And that's really one of the biggest reasons that I'm still at Utah Foster Care and able to do the work that I love so much. The other big piece of what allowed me to do that was my mom and my mother-in-law stepping in to help provide childcare and allow me to be at work and know my kids were taken care of. So I'm excited that my mom and dad are here today and can be a part of this award, and just grateful for what they've provided for my kids and for me to allow me to do the work I love so much. As my role has changed, as my job duties have expanded over the years, it certainly has brought a different environment to our home, and I just want to thank my husband and my kids for stepping into that space graciously and supporting me through those changes, knowing that things look different at our house, as many of you have alluded to. The time away, the hang on one more second, we're on this phone call, and I just feel really fortunate that my husband and my kids have stepped into this space and found passion for the mission and the work we do and are a part of so much of that. I too was surprised by this award. I think one of the most meaningful parts of it is that the nomination was presented by my team, and I feel really lucky that they have the faith in me and the belief in me to nominate me for this award. We have some amazing staff members at our table in the back. We also have some of our amazing board members. We definitely could not do this job without everybody as a part of the team. A special thank you to Dan Webster, who's our Director of Operations. For me, he is the confidant, the person I can trust to run ideas by at work, the person who shares the vision of where we're going and what we're doing, and can push us forward and pull us back when we all need that. So thank you for stepping into this crazy space with me as well. And then I think lastly, I just think that I had an opportunity this week to really remember the why in the work that we do at Utah Foster Care. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year and creating a video to sort of just honor that story. And we had a gentleman named Richard, who is a dad of 3 kids, who was struggling with substance abuse, addiction, and his 3 children were placed into the foster care system several years ago. He worked closely with the foster family that was caring for his kids. He created a relationship with them, and they helped support him through that healing process. He worked for many months. He had his children reunified with him, and has stayed in close contact with the foster family. They vacation together. They support each other. The family still continues to support him as a single dad who is raising 3 kids, going to school and working. And for him to share his story with us and be vulnerable and show that change to a generation that he's making for himself and his kids, we don't take that lightly. That's sacred work. It's beautiful to see, and I'm just honored to be a part of it, and thank everybody for being here today. Thanks.
We've been presented with a remarkable opportunity at The Point. The former Draper State Prison is going to be turned into a mixed-use community focused on innovation, quality of life, and opportunity for people. We've been working hard at preparing the site, and now we're ready to start building. I think any leader has to establish a compelling vision. And that's a vision that has to go beyond just ambition or money. but something that is built on values and really touches people's hearts. I think we're fortunate to be working in a project where we're thinking about the future. When I think about building the Point, I see the faces of my grandchildren and others of that age and think we've got to make effort today to create the best world we can for them so they'll have opportunities to go as far as their talent will take them. I'm excited by the fact that we've worked with a lot of different people to coalesce around a vision that includes innovation, helping to solve problems in the state, that includes quality of life. If we can do all of these things and demonstrate that we can grow in more thoughtful ways in Utah, we can continue to maintain our quality of life as we grow.
Over the last 18 months, our next honoree has been negotiating and signing a landmark development agreement with private sector development partners for Phase 1 of the Point, an agreement that represents a $2.3 billion investment in the state of Utah. It's not often that 600 acres of land, perfectly situated between two populous metropolitans, is a blank slate for development. And that's what has made this project so sensitive. Everyone is watching and everybody wants a piece of the pie. Because of his efforts, the Point will have funding for affordable housing, a new front-runner station, and an innovation center, along with a public arts master plan. Please give a warm welcome to Alan Matheson Jr., Executive Director of the Point of the Mountains State Land Authority.
Thank you. So in 1879, my great-great-grandparents, Luella and Lemuel, Keziah and Lemuel, they joined with a group of pioneers from the area around New Harmony and Cedar City with the goal of settling southeastern Utah. And they decided they were going to take a shortcut and go through Escalante and down through the canyon country. What they thought would be a 6-week trip turned out to be a 6-month ordeal. They got lost in canyons, had to blast and chop their way through rock to get their wagons through, ran out of food. Well, many years later, one of Keziah's daughters came to her and said, "Mom, how did you stand it?" And Keziah looked at her kind of quizzically and said, "What do you mean? Those were the best days of my life. We were so close." Keziah taught me that if you're with people you love in shared purpose, that you can find great joy. And that's been my experience here. I get to work with people that I care about very deeply on a project that can make a difference for the long term. I'm so grateful for members of our board. They're wise, they're committed, they're engaged. I'm grateful for our team, our operations director, Don Willey, our partners and others. And I'm grateful for my wife, Laura. We're going to celebrate our 35th anniversary on Monday. Every day has been a joy, and her unyielding support sustains me every day. I'm grateful to be able to work with incredible people, incredible Utahns, to build an incredible Utah. And I'm grateful for this honor. Thank you.
The challenge of being unemployed for a period is one that I think many of us wrestle with. And you never know where that's going to take you. And where that took me was to the Bicycle Collective, which is an intersection of my passions around taking care of our planet. And most importantly, having a meaningful and measurable impact on people. Since its invention more than 200 years ago, bicycles have transformed lives, and that's what we're all about. Our culture is also one that is agile, flexible, and caring. We meet a lot of people when they're at their most vulnerable point. And to be kind and compassionate, there's a saying about we're humankind. And at Bicycle Collective, we try to be both human and kind. The advice I'd give to aspiring CEOs is get out of your comfort zone. Surround yourself with people who don't look and think like you. We need diverse perspectives. We need diversity in those around us, but challenge yourself to do things that you don't know how to do so that you can be in a learning mode.
A Utah group of nonprofit bike shops refurbishes donated bicycles and puts them into the hands of those in need, specifically children, newly resettled refugees, and immigrants, the housing insecure, and more. Sometimes access to a bicycle makes difference for employment, education, or quality of life. Our next honoree has led the Bicycle Collective as it has received and given away thousands of donated bikes and has sold more than 1,000 bikes to generate revenue for operations. Please welcome to the stage the Executive Director of Bicycle Collective, Donna Maturo McClear.
Thank you. I'm pretty stoked to be here. Transportation is a formidable barrier to economic mobility. Access to just about everything associated with upward mobility and economic progress, jobs, quality food, goods at a reasonable price, healthcare, and schooling relies on the ability to get around in an efficient and affordable price. Since its invention more than 200 years ago, bicycles have transformed lives, providing individuals and people without self-reliant and independent mobility a way to get where they want, when they want. Bicycles are the foundation of our work, and thanks to the generous support of thousands upon thousands of stakeholders and volunteers throughout this state, throughout the country and the world. Their support has enabled our volunteers and our mechanics to repair, refurbish, and give away more than 1,300 bikes this year to people in need of that transportation and sell almost 1,500 bikes. And recycle more than 82 tons of material that would have otherwise ended up in a landfill. One becomes a CEO and a CEO honoree because of the support, encouragement, advice, and swift kicks in the ass from a lot of people who believe in me. I'm grateful to all and joy-filled for the ones I get to lead. There are many people to thank. My family for giving me the time and the space and the freedom to pursue my dreams. And now all the people at the collective, our board, our staff, our selfless and committed volunteers, our donors, and our investors who believe in the transformative power of bikes and transportation equity. Please come check out our new hub on 9th South and 325 West. And if you've got some bikes sitting in your garage that aren't being used, please consider donating them so that we can recycle and get them back out on the street, because there's nobody who gets on a bike and doesn't smile. Thank you.
The organization is so much more than one individual. It takes a strong team. And if we can develop others around us and hire those that actually make us feel a little bit uncomfortable because they may be better than us, that will make us tremendously successful. When I look at what I'm most proud of as a CEO, it's really the team we've had over the years, the success we've had together. We've had just tremendous growth. We've done a fantastic job of living true to who we say we are as an organization, on serving our members, on making a difference in people's lives, not only our members' lives, but also our employees' lives, having a vibrant and exciting place for them to work.
That's what makes me excited to come into work here every day. The message I would give to my executive team is thank you. Thank you for your dedication, for your service to the organization. We are making a difference together, and we have had tremendous success thanks to the dedication.
Our next honoree has led his organization to achieve its $10 billion asset growth goal 2.5 years early, even amidst the challenges of the pandemic. Under his leadership, the organization was honored with the Glassdoor Best Companies to Work For award and has achieved a net promoter score of 84, significantly higher than the industry average of 34. During 2023, the company's foundation awarded 120 scholarships and donated $28,000 to various nonprofits. Please welcome the CEO and President of Mountain America Credit Union, Sterling W. Nielsen.
Well, it's an honor to be here. Thank you to Utah Business and congratulations to all the nominees and the honorees that have been recognized today. There's some amazing people, and to hear their stories, it's humbling. You know, some time ago we had a member come into one of our branches in Idaho, and this member was a little concerned. He had co-signed on his daughter's visa, and she wasn't paying like he had hoped. And so he was in there talking with the branch manager about options, and the branch manager looked at his situation as well and found this member had a lot of debt, and he was in a very precarious situation. Fast forward a little bit, the member walked out of that branch saving over $1,000 a month with a plan to save more money once he got his credit score up. And he did that. At Mountain America, we're all about changing lives, and we like to share stories about lives changed. And it is gratifying to be a part of an organization that changes lives one at a time and also is involved in the community in so many different ways. So I consider myself fortunate to be a part of such a great team. Of course, my best team is my family. Stephanie, thank you, and all my children. Great supportive board of directors, and a team of 3,400 employees who just do a fantastic job. They're the ones that make the magic happen. Thank you.
Webb has an interesting culture. We're unique in that we're not too corporate, but we're very professional and we execute on a high level. So it leads to a group where there's a lot of camaraderie between the team. They work really hard together on really intense projects, and they really enjoy each other, and that's an important part of our work. Our team is often on site for a week straight, waking up at 6 in the morning and sometimes being up until 2 in the morning. And so it's a really challenging, grueling workload. And you really have to be in line with your team and love your team in order to come in and give it your heart. And I think there's also a lot of passion around delivering for our clients, making them happy, and creating a great experience for all of the attendees at our events. One of the things I'm most proud of during my time at Webb as CEO is in 2021, we became an ESOP. So we're a 100% employee-owned company. And that was how the founders of Webb wanted to transition out of the business. It was important to them. It's great for the employees. It's a really fun thing to be part of. And we're just seeing our second year of valuation reports come back to employees. And it's exciting for them to see that as they help grow and build value, they also benefit.
Our next honoree joined her company immediately prior to the pandemic and in an industry where companies across the world closed their doors. Her event production company underwent a 30% layoff but transitioned quickly to virtual events and weathered the storm. They have returned to a full staff and, after being in business for almost 70 years, experienced the company's most profitable years in history during 2022 and 2023. Please give a warm welcome to Melanie Robinson, CEO of Webb.
everyone. I want to say thank you to Utah Business for featuring these events and bringing our community together. And thank you to Bill for being a sponsor. We're also a customer of theirs and really enjoy their platform. It's a bit sheepish receiving a CEO of the Year award because I've been a CEO for about 8 years at different companies, and I can think of 0 successes that happened that weren't a result of my team, that were only mine. But I could probably think of about 10 in the last month that are totally my mistakes. So it's hard to get an award for it. At Webb, we are really values-led. I think that's been a big part of our success. We have about 10 values. I'll just share a few that come to mind today as I look at my team, and I can kind of see them there in the dark. We are a team. We create. We are resource-wise. We do the right thing always. We are dreamers and doers, and we face challenges with optimism. And I just feel incredibly lucky that I landed where I did, that I've had the opportunities that I've had in my life to step up and take on responsibility. A lot of my success is just being in the right place at the right time, being placed with a great team, having people that took a chance on me, and I'm really today just feeling a lot of gratitude and a lot of luck. So thank you.
We're a very small nonprofit organization, so there's 4 employees, and the culture is work together, teamwork, have fun, enjoy what we're doing, and just be aware that we represent the restaurant industry and always making sure that we're positive and about everything that happens in our industry. I think our most important venture for the Utah Restaurant Association has been our ProStart program. And our ProStart program is a culinary high school program. And we've been doing it now for 20 plus years in the state of Utah, training young people to see and realize all the benefits and that our industry is the industry of opportunity so that they can go out and create a career for themselves. The pandemic was a whole new. When we closed restaurants and asked 2,000 restaurants to shut their doors for 45 days and then open those same restaurants on one day, it's a huge challenge. Lots of tears, lots of constantly communicating with restaurants, Zoom calls weekly, just meeting their needs and being there as a means of support. That developed a great deal of trust in our restaurant owners that our job was to take their interests to heart and represent them all.
Our next honoree guided Utah's restaurant community through the COVID-19 pandemic. She advised restaurants weekly through Zoom meetings to discuss ever-changing regulations, always ensuring the safety of operators and guests. She created messaging for restaurants well ahead of any regulations, advised the governor's COVID committee on the need for PPE for the restaurant industry, and addressed the financial hardships of the time with government officials. Please give a big round of applause for Melva C. Sine, CEO and President for the Utah Restaurant Association.
Well, thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. And thanks to Utah Business Magazine, not just for the award and the honors, but for having an amazing magazine. We subscribe, and it's great. We have it on. Anyone who can come into our office can actually read and see the magazine, so it actually is something that is ongoing, and we appreciate the community effort that Utah Business Magazine makes for all of us. I also want to thank Margot Provost, who is here today. Margot nominated me. She's the owner of the award-winning Log Haven restaurant in Mill Creek Canyon, so you guys can go and see her too and get to know her. She's a wonderful person. I want to say thank you to my amazing cheerleading section, which is my children, and they're all here tonight, today, and my son Joshua said, make sure that I mention his name, even though he's just one of many, and I love them all. I'm devoted and dedicated to them all because they have been my inspiration and motivation for anything I've accomplished in life. And thanks to you for eating out in our restaurants and enjoying the opportunity that restaurants take to serve you. And that's a very important part. Our restaurants are resilient. I mean, we survived the financial challenges of 2008. Then we survived the pandemic, but we only survived the pandemic because you came and enjoyed our restaurants. I hope you enjoyed your meal today. I know they put their heart and soul into giving you a fantastic meal today. So right now in Utah, the Utah restaurant industry employs over 115,000 people, right? And we mentioned our ProStart program, which we're very proud of, because that is giving us a well-trained, qualified workforce, which is one of the most pressing problems that we have right now in the industry. I want to say congratulations to everyone who was honored today, and I want to mention to you that Governor Cox, in his State of the State address, mentioned that if you roll up your sleeves and work hard, you can accomplish anything. It has been my honor and privilege to represent Utah's restaurant industry. I've been in this position for 30 years now, and we do consider ourselves the industry of opportunity. You can start in a restaurant as a dishwasher, and you can manage or own it in a matter of just years. So thanks again to all of you, and thanks to Utah Business Magazine.
I'd say what are the challenges in building Nova is really we were exploring new territory as far as data centers go. One is to create a water-free product to reduce our impact on the environment, and also to really explore where do we go with artificial intelligence. Our data centers are designed for generative AI, and that creates all new challenges in cooling, power, energy consumption, and just growth. It's very, very difficult. The principles that guide my leadership style tend to be, I set the vision, I hire motivated people, and I provide the resources for them to accomplish the goals and innovate. Dream it, try it, fail, succeed. You'll never know, other than having regret that you never did try it. I take the most pride in that the employees to feel empowered to explore new ideas, to disrupt the space, and still create an extremely efficient, reliable product. Clients like it, investors like it, employees love working there. That's what thrills me every day.
Our next honorees' data centers are constructed with environmental consciousness, and unlike typical data centers, they use a water-free cooling system. This system saves hundreds of millions of gallons of water annually at each facility. Under his leadership, the company has achieved almost $1 billion in growth capital over the last 3 years, 160% revenue growth year over year. 3 of 4 facilities sold out until 2025. Please give a warm welcome to Weston W. Swenson, CEO of Nova Data Centers.
Thanks to Utah Business Magazine. Love the magazine, great publication. I'm honored, but I feel really unworthy given all the great stories up here. But really for me, this is not about me, it's really about my team. My worst trait is I drive my companies way above the speed limit, and I spend money like nobody's business. But they're always there to back me up. It's an incredible company. I feel like the luckiest person alive to get to build these incredible data centers. If you ever have an opportunity and you want to come and tour it, let me know. These are the largest artificial intelligence data centers in the world that just happen to be in Utah. And they are cool, really cool. But I'm pleased, I'm honored, I'm humbled, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
At Levo, we have really worked hard to develop a culture that is inclusive and that helps our team to feel that they really are important regardless of their position. We really can't function without everybody that is part of the team, and that's from the executive team, our medical providers, our staff members. We have wanted to create a culture of being open to feedback, open to correction, change, adjustment, because we really believe that we do better with everyone versus, a top-down type of organization. We are in the mental health industry, and so our patients are struggling. Success for us might look a little differently than it might look for some other businesses, even though we are still a business. Levo is a verb for lift, elevate, uphold. And we want to do that for the people that we serve. We want to lift our community, help people to live more fuller lives, to be able to thrive in their lives, thrive as individuals and spouses and parents, community members, employees. So for us, seeing the impact on the individual is really what defines success as well as on our team.
Our next honoree has grown her company over 400% in revenue, tripled the mental health professional clinical team, and brought the company to profitability within its first calendar year. Please welcome our final honoree of the day, the CEO and president of Levo, Beth Waldron.
Thank you so much to Utah Business. We are so grateful for this opportunity to be recognized. I do want to say a quick thanks to my husband. He's traveling this week, but he has been my biggest supporter for many years. But thank you especially to the team at Levo. I have the great privilege today of representing the work done there, the work of committed and passionate and compassionate people who are devoted to helping build and lift and elevate people, just as our name represents. Our goal has been all along to lift and elevate people to live fuller and richer lives. We want to normalize mental health care. Just as we accept that everyone needs physical health care, I would venture to say that if we had a moment to visit with each of you here, that you have your own mental health story, or perhaps someone that you love and care about. And the more we can normalize that conversation and expand and allow others to feel that they can reach that resource and tool that they need to overcome those challenges in their life, then that will bless all of us in every avenue that we work in and that we live in. So I'm just privileged and honored to have this opportunity to shed some light on the team at Levo. I'm so grateful for them. I work with cherished friends and colleagues, and it's just been such an incredible opportunity to be in this role. Thank you.
What an incredible group of leaders. It has been an honor to celebrate you today. Thank you for your example, your commitment, and for your broad shoulders. You carry an awful lot. As we heard from your speeches today, you all have impressive people helping you achieve your vision. If you would like to honor your executive team members at a celebration similar to this one, we invite you to nominate them for the Executive Excellence Awards. Nominations are open on utahbusiness.com until April 5th, and the luncheon will be held in June. With that said, I'll turn the microphone back over to our publisher, Burke Olson.
Thank you, Melanie. Thanks to all of you for spending this time with us today. I can't help but feel anything but optimistic about our state, about our businesses, about futures for our children, because the kind of things that we heard about today, the kind of leadership that we've witnessed at this podium, thank you and congratulations again. I also have to thank our incredible Utah Business Events team for their attention to detail in making this event so special and memorable for all of us. Before you go, just a couple of housekeeping items. First, you may have noticed on your table there's a QR code. If you'll use that and scan it, we want to offer you from Utah Business a complimentary one-year subscription to Utah Business Magazine. If you haven't read it, you've heard about it today, and it'll help you keep in touch with some really important developments and also the people that we honor across a variety of categories. So please scan the code and complete the online registration. Photos and videos of our honorees will be posted on the Utah Business website in the next day or so we invite you to check back. And we invite you to share any photos or videos that you've taken with the hashtag UBCEO of the Year. Finally, we like to gather all the name tags so that we can recycle them, so please leave them at your table or at your the registration desk on the way out. Thank you to each of you for joining us today. Congratulations once again to the 2024 Utah Business CEOs of the Year.